Wow, completely garbage tonight. Completely garbage tonight. Starting this holiday season. The start of this holiday season. I'm the Godfather Soldiers Slim. The name of my topic tonight is called Knockout in Kansas City. Will John Cena's last match will be worth watching this Saturday night? And I'm giving you my predictions for Saturday night's main event. But before I do them up, I'll show a little bit of music right quick. I'm gonna open up with let's see I'm gonna open up with so I'm trying to see. So I'm gonna open up with I'm gonna open up this match with this really good match from Starcade 85 together. This really good match from no wait. Well, I'm gonna open up this really good wait, little this, I mean, you know what, I'm just gonna go a little Christmas jingle. I'm opening this really good Christmas song. Since the holiday season is here, I'm gonna open a song called by New Edition called Christmas All Over the World, which is cover version by New Edition called Christmas All Over the World, which was really sung by Sheen Easton from 1985 holiday fantasy called Santa Claus the Movie. So stick around, right back, and get the music playing right back. Yep, Christmas Eve, Christmas All the World by a new edition, cover version, sung by Sheena Easton from the 1985 holiday Christmas Christmas fantasy film, fan, Christmas film family fantasy film, Santa Claus the movie from 1985, which stars the late Dudley Moore, the late John late as Patch, the late David Hilson as Santa Claus, and still alive John Lithgow as the evil toy maker, evil Scrooge-like toy maker BZ. So let's get started with tonight's show. Terrible show. Then, now forever together, WWE leads us in the terrible show. Video, this past Friday on SmackDown, the ring general Gunther defeated LA Knight to win the last time is now, which is I don't like. Gunther will face John Cena this Saturday at Saturday's main event. That will be John Cena's final match. Ring general Gunther addresses facing John Cena in this final match. Ring general Gunther makes his way to the ring. Gunther stands in the ring and looks pleased. The crowd chants, Cena. Gunther picks the microphone up and the crowd chants, we want Cena. Gunther tells them not to get their hopes up because Cena isn't here. Gunther says, it's his time now. As he walked to the ring, it dawned on him. By submitting LA Knight, Gunther earned one of his biggest honors of his career. In 5 days, he will be the last opponent in the last match in career John Cena. The crowd boos. 17 world championships, all the time in a row. Hustle, loyalty, and respect. Gunther has to admit that John Cena is the greatest sports entertainer of all time. This Saturday, Cena will lose the best professional wrestler of all time. Gunther has a countdown to Saturday night's main event brought up on the screen. Gunther wants them to see how much time they have left to admire Cena. John Cena as our hero. Cena never gives up. Gunther says beating Cena on Saturday night's main event isn't enough for him. Gunther will do something that no one has ever managed before. Gunther will break Cena's spirit, bully him and drop him on his head, wrap his arm around his neck, and squeeze him with everything he has until the last bit of hustle, loyalty, and respect has left in his body. He will squeeze until there is not only one way out. Cena will do the one thing he said he will never do. Gunther will force Cena to give up. Gunther walks off. Give me a break. I bet I don't know why in the world last Friday they had to have shoved him that WWE is shoving Gunther in our throats. I don't understand that. Pre-show rivals, Rey Mysterio is shown walking to the T-Mobile Center. Bayley and Lara Valkyrie are walking backstage. Valkyrie will face Roxanne Perez later tonight. World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are here and will defend the titles against the War Raiders. Women's World Champion Stephanie Vicari will join us live. Them live, so to speak. Backstage segment, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are walking backstage. Team Rio they are called. Sky will face WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Kairi Sane. Video, last Monday on Raw, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez attacked the majority of the women's tag team division. Io Sky makes her entrance alongside Rhea Ripley. The commentary team talks about the schedule of events for John Cena's final day as an active competitor on Saturday. NXT champion Omar Femi is at ringside. Femi will battle undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes on Saturday. Io Sky with Rhea Ripley versus WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Kairi Sane and WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Asuka. Referee is Sean Bennett. They lock up at the sound of the bell, and Zane backs Sky into the ropes and ducks a back fist, and Zane pulls herself through the ropes to avoid a strike. And the crowd chants, "Let's go, Io." Zane grabs the arm and wrenches it. Sky reverses a whip to the corner, but Zane quickly boots her back. Zane attempts a Hurricanrana, but Sky drops a handspring and lands on her feet. Sky punches Zane and sends her into the rope. Zane mistakes the sunset flip, but Sky rolls over for a 2 count. They trade pins before Sky nearly grabs the quick victory with the LA Magistraw. Sky drops Zane on the apron, but Zane knocks her back. Zane jumps over Sky and mocks Sky's taunt. Zane quickly catches her with a head scissors takeover and taunts the crowd. Sky hits the ropes and does some handsprings and sweeps the feet. Sky takes her down with a basement dropkick. Zane rolls out of the ring to recover. Sky gets the crowd going and goes to hit the ropes, but Asuka gets on the rope apron to distract her. Sky charges, but Asuka pulls the ropes apart to get her out of the ring. Ripley menacingly approaches Asuka, and Zane hits Sky with a diving forearm off the apron. Then we go to a little commercial break. Back from the break, Zane's walking the plank as she sizes Sky up. Zane goes for a sliding elbow, but Sky boots her back. Sky connects with some showtie uppercuts followed by a flapjack. Zane reverses a whip to the corner, but Sky twists through the ropes and kicks her back. Sky hits a springboard missile dropkick. Sky celebrates and backs up for a bullet train to pick up for a 2 count. Sky steps up on her and goes to the top rope. Zane cuts her off and puts her on a tree of woe. Zane stomps her away and goes to the top rope for a diving double stomp out of the tree of woe to pick up a near fall. Sky pulls up. Sky ducks some strikes and kicks her in the knee for hitting one to the skull. Sky pulls her up and goes for a double underhook facebuster, but Zane lands on her feet and hits a sliding forearm. Sky rolls to the apron, so Zane follows her out there. Zane goes for a slam on the apron, but Sky lands on her feet and hits Zane with a German suplex. That's the hardest part of the ring. Sky hits an outside moonsault on Zane before putting her back in the ring. Sky kicks Zane back, putting her in a drop zone. Sky goes to the top rope, but Zane rolls and distracts the referee. Asuka sweeps Sky's feet and puts her in a tree of woe. Sky and Ripley and Asuka begin to brawl at ringside. Ripley kicks her in the head and sends her into the timekeeper's area. Zane climbs to the top rope for another aerial stomp, but Sky pops up and slams her down to the mat. Sky connects with a beautiful over the moonsault for the win, winning by pinfall. Io Sky. Io Sky and Ripley celebrate in the ring and embrace. Division's locker room. Paul Heyman is talking with Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed when Fury's Logan Paul walks in. Paul asks if they saw Rey Mysterio slap him in the face and said something has to be done. Breaker and Reed stand up and say it will be handled tonight. Paul asks to talk to Heyman. Paul says this is Mysterio situation is getting handled tonight. Heyman says for the first time in Paul's life he has backup. Paul appreciates the backup, but he wants Breaker and Reed to know that if they can get in trouble, he is their backup as well. Heyman just says he loves that idea before handing Paul a pair of brass knuckles just in case. They chuckle as Paul puts them on. Heyman turns to Braun Breaker and Reed says he likes Paul. Backstage, Rey Mysterio is walking backstage and he walks by the New Day and Grayson Waller, who were engaged in a heated argument with the New Day with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce. Mysterio will face Finn Balor next. And go to commercial break. Video, the War Raiders says they are stronger than ever will be and will be champions again. As Rey Mysterio makes his entrance, he is attacked from behind by Logan Paul. Paul attacks Mysterio ringside to get him in the ring, peppering him with strikes. Paul puts the brass knuckles on, but Mysterio boots him away. Mysterio punches back, but Paul elbows him away. Mysterio quickly knocks him into the ropes for a 619. Mysterio hits the ropes, but the mystery masked man from Survivor Series super kicks him down. The masked man hits Mysterio with Seth Rollins' stomp and runs off, pursued by security. The referee helps Mysterio up, and Paul rocks Mysterio with brass knuckles. LA Knight runs down for the save, so Paul gets out of the ring. Knight checks on Mysterio and says that if Seth Rollins is in the hoodie, he'll have an aneurysm and stomp on his head into the mat. As for Logan Paul, he didn't know the Vision could suck more, and he joined them. Knight says things haven't been going his way, but he can't watch Paul treat a legend like that. Paul will not pay later, but tonight, yeah. Then go to commercial break. AJ Lee and Dragon Lee will battle Javon Evans next, in it. Javon Evans of NXT and TNA X Division champion Leon Slayer in Saturday night's main event. Evans is shown at ringside. No, I don't like WWE's deal with TNA and Triple A. I mean, this is going back to that period with the Black Saturday thing with WWE taking over Georgia Championship Wrestling, which is now called WCW, into that invasion angle with WWE beginning invaded with WCW and ECW. They're failing. World Tag Team Championship. War Raiders Eric and Ivar versus Dragon Lee and AJ Lee, who are the Raw Tag Team Champions. Referees Eddie Orango. The bell rings and the New Day appears at ringside with Grayson Waller. Styles takes Eric down and tags Dragon Lee in, who hits a slingshot dropkick. LA Knight knocks over the apron when it hits a basement dropkick on Eric for a 1 count. Lee pulls Eric up and tags Styles in. Styles hit and Lee hit Eric with a double team back elbow. Eric quickly rocks Styles with a forearm and tags Ivar in. Styles quickly gets the War Raiders out of the ring. Lee goes for a crossbody block off the apron, but the War Raiders catch him. Styles goes for a diving attack, but the Raiders throw Lee into Styles. Eric sends Lee flying before Ivar flashes Styles into the LOD apron. We're going to go to a little commercial break. Back from break, Styles fights out of the War Raiders' corner. Ivar quickly boots Styles down and tags Eric in. Ivar knocks Lee off the apron. War Raiders strike Styles down for a 2 count. Ivar tags in and starts to brawl with Styles. Styles hits a Pele kick and both men are down. Lee and Eric tag in. Lee attacks Ivar and hits Eric with a running Hurricanrana. Lee clotheslines Eric over the top rope and strikes away at Ivar. Eric quickly pulls Lee on the top rope, but Lee knocks him back. Lee hits the aerial stomp. Lee knees Ivar in the face and tries to lift him. Lee gets him up on his shoulders. He falls back. Lee tries again and drops him. Lee then powers Ivar up with it and hits a Death Valley driver. Lee hits a running body block on Ivar for a near fall. Lee rolls away from Ivar, but Ivar comes back with a corner C at senton. Ivar tags in. The War Raiders go for a double team slam, but Lee hits them with a double Hurricanrana. Lee goes for a Hurricanrana off the apron on Eric, but Eric powers him up. Lee knocks him back when charges, but Eric pounds him off apron off Ivar's arms, who hits a power slam on the floor. Ivar gets to it in Lee. Gets in as Lee is put into the ring. Ivar hits a Magnum moonsault on Lee. 1-2 Styles breaks it up just in time. Styles and Eric tag in. They trade blows. Eric avoids a Pele kick and knees in the face for a 2 count. Kofi shouts that Eric needed to hook the leg. Kingston calls him an idiot. Ivar tags in and Eric slams Styles. Styles charges, but Eric throws him into Ivar. Styles hits the top rope Hurricanrana, knocking Ivar into Eric. Lee wipes out Eric with a somersault senton. In the ring, Styles hits Ivar with a phenomenal forearm for the win. Winners by pinfall and still World Tag Team Champions: Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. The New Day gets in the ring, threatening Styles and Lee. The Usos head to the ring through the crowd to take their time getting to the ring as everyone in the ring awaits. The Usos get in the ring and lead an arena wide. Yeet! The Usos takes some microphones, but the crowd wants them to run it back. The Usos oblige and yeet some more. Main event: Jey Uso, who was totally blown, greets the crowd. Jimmy says they have the big announcement. They are back in the tag team division. They have been getting hit hard, taking L after L. War Games and WrestlePalooza. LJ in particular lost a ton. Jay isn't happy with Jimmy running over a list of his failures. Jimmy asks him what they are doing. Jay says they are going to get back us. They're going back to block the door, spotted them all, and put the tag division on notice. The best damn tag team is now your city. Jay says they need gold. Oh no. Jimmy gives respect to the tag team champions because they didn't know about them. Jay says the New Day know them. They go way back. New Day. It's Rock versus Austin. Jay says they'll run through the New Day like they always do. Then they'll take the gold. Kingston run and Xavier and Woods go for a blindside, but the Usos punch them down. Grayson Waller stands there nervously asking to run it before running back off. The Usos go face to face with Styles and Lee. Man, they're back as a tag team division, and this means I think that, they're gonna fail miserably. Usos. Get this. This January 30th, 2026 and January 31st, 2026 from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, SmackDown and the Royal Rumble will take place. What? Yeah, wow. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, January 31st. SmackDown. January 30th to 26. Yeah, so Friday night SmackDown will be on January 30th, 2026, and the Royal Rumble will be on Saturday, January 31st, 2026. Take place. And we see a backstage segment. The Raw Women's World Champion Stephanie McMahon is walking backstage. We'll hear from her next. Then we go to commercial break. Carter Jensen of Kansas City Royals is at ringside. Raw Women's World Champion Stephanie Vicaire addresses what's next for her. Jackie Redman is in the ring and introduces Stephanie Vicaire. Raw Women's World Champion Stephanie Vicaire makes her entrance and gets in the ring. Redman congratulates Vicaire on destroying Nikki Bella at Survivor Series to retain the title. She's on a massive run. Who's next? Stephanie Vicaire says she wants to face everyone. She's not someone who talks too much. She speaks through her actions and proves who's the best wrestler on the planet. Vicaire says it's not because of the Devil's Kiss. She's the best. Nikki is a legend, but today's women's division is different from 15 years ago. We have Rhea Ripley, Bayley, Natalya, Io Sky. Vicaire is the person at the top. And look who interrupted the show. This whining, sore loser. Nikki Bella interrupts. The WWE Hall of Famer says Kansas City doesn't deserve her presence. She's a Hall of Famer, legend, and a celebrity. Bella says she's done with Stephanie Vicaire. Bella demands a rematch. No. Go away. Go away, you bitch. It's 2025, not fucking 2009. And then bam, Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment that runs down and grabs Bella before lawn darting the Hall of Famer into the ring post. Rodriguez gets in the ring and speaks Spanish. Rodriguez tells Vicaire to name the time and place to take Vicaire's title. You know what? Nikki Bella wants a rematch and Raquel wants a rematch. Nikki Bella wants a rematch and Raquel Rodriguez wants her title. This means we're gonna have a triple threat match. Stephanie Vicaire, a triple threat match. Lyra Valkyria. Stephanie Vicaire, the defending Raw Women's Champion, versus Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez from Judgment Day. So this means that this means that she doesn't have, since Liv and Roxanne are now tag team champions, since due to the fact that Liv's been out of action for a few months. She's now gonna hunt for the Raw Women's World title now, since Liv Morgan, because Roxanne Perez was a replacement for Liv while she was gone. So that means since Liv and Roxanne are Raw Women's Tag Team Champions, Raquel now is going to have a recession going to the Raw Women's title. What about? I think this is going to cause dissension between the Judgment Day. Well, because Liv, how do you know if her buddy, her Judgment Day friend, Liv Morgan, wants the Raw Women's World title? It's a good question. Backstage, LA Knight is warming up. He'll face Logan Paul later tonight. Then we'll go to a commercial break. WWE superstars talk about John Cena at WrestleMania. John Cena's final match against Gunther takes place this Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event. Judgment Clubhouse. Finn Balor with Dirty Dum Dum, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. Balor is happy he didn't have to wrestle tonight. Raquel Rodriguez walks up and Morgan asks, what was that about? Rodriguez says she doesn't have to run everything by Morgan. Nikki Bella interfered in her title match a few weeks back, so that was payback. So that's why she went after both Nikki and Stephanie. Morgan then changes her tune and supports Rodriguez. Rodriguez walks off and Morgan gets a crazy look on her face for smiling and turning to Perez, saying she'll be in her corner. Morgan says they'll be going for the tag team titles and pulls her away. Balor shrugs and Mysterio says they're bonding. That's why I said since yeah, so that means Liv that Roxanne Perez is a replacement for Raquel now, since she's going after the Raw Women's title, world title. And Mysterio says they are binding. Sol Ruka of NXT is at ringside. She'll face Bayley at Saturday night's main event. Now we see this match: Lara Valkyrie with Bayley versus Roxanne Perez with Liv Morgan. Liv was jealous of Roxanne from the beginning. I know Liv is more jealous of Roxanne. Okay, yeah, the referee is Jessica Carr. The bell rings and Perez rolls under a lockup. Perez tries again, but Valkyrie grabs her and puts her on her feet. Lyra Valkyrie pushes Perez to the corner and hits a double wrist lock suplex for a 2 count. Valkyrie executes a nice pinning combination for a 2 count. Perez ducks a spin kick and knocks Valkyrie back. Perez sends Valkyrie into the ropes, but Valkyrie sweeps the feet and hits a basement drop kick. Valkyrie hits a Northern Lights Up suplex for a 2 count. Perez rolls out of the ring to recover. Valkyrie goes for a wrecking ball dropkick, but she comes up short. Perez sends Valkyrie into the ring steps. Perez smashes the arm off the steps and poses with Morgan. Then we go to commercial break. Back from break, Perez is stretching Valkyrie's arm. Who could forget the history? Lyra and Perez, Valkyrie and Perez, Roxanne Perez. They go way back. It goes all the way back to NXT. Stand and Deliver 2024. Valkyrie stomps Perez gets out and Perez sends her into the ropes. Valkyrie hits a running crossbody for a 2 count. Perez twists out and they start trading spins. Valkyrie hits a sit out powerbomb, but she can't follow her up due to her injured arm. Valkyrie hits a pair of clotheslines followed by some kicks. Perez avoids a kick and goes to the cartwheel knee drop, but Valkyrie avoids it. Valkyrie knocks her out of the ring and hits a wrecking ball drop kick. Valkyrie looks at Morgan and gets Perez in the ring. Valkyrie hits a diving crossbody block for a near fall. Valkyrie attempts to suplex, but Perez wraps her legs around her and grabs the injured arm. Valkyrie powers her up and drops her on top of the rope. Perez snaps Valkyrie off the top rope and hits a head scissor into a facebuster. Perez follows up with a cartwheel knee drop for a 2 count. Perez applies an armbar. Valkyrie fights out, blocks a kick, and hits a German suplex. Valkyrie lifts her, but Perez rakes her eyes as Morgan distracts the referee. Bayley pulls Morgan off the apron. Perez attacks Bayley. Valkyrie rolls her up for a 2 count. Valkyrie attempts a Nightwing, but Perez gets out. Valkyrie rolls her up, but Perez kicks out, knocking her into Morgan, who kicks her in the face. Perez hits a pop rocks for the win. Second time she beat Valkyrie. That's that since NXT Stand and Deliver 2024. So that's 2-1. But that's wait, yeah. One so that's 2-1 for Roxanne, because Roxanne beat her first at NXT Stand and Deliver for the NXT Women's title. Then Lyra Valkyrie beat her first time in a Raw match earlier this year, not too long ago. That's 1, and Roxanne beat her a second time, so that's 2-1 for Roxanne. I think Liv more. I think there's gonna be some dissension between Liv and Roxanne because I'm gonna go with Roxanne this one because Liv is really actually jealous of Roxanne. Video: Tiffany Stratton stars in a WrestleMania Vegas commercial, which is stupid. I don't know why anyone put it in Vegas, which is really dumb, and I don't know was it doesn't make sense. And Triple H is not doing a good job, man. Backstage segment: Logan Paul is warming up for his match against LA Knight. Then we go to commercial break. Video: Maxine Dupree training inefficiently under her Natalia's tutelage. They will wrestle, and Dupree forces Natty to tap out to an ankle lock. Dupree gets up and says, "Again." Video: John Cena says the piece of the audience of criticism that stuck with him was, "You can't wrestle." Cena admits he was doing 5 moves and challenged himself to do more. The John Cena Tom Rinaldi interview premieres on Raw on YouTube after Raw. Commentators talk about the card for Saturday night's main event, featuring John Cena's last match. LA Knight makes his entrance. The main event is next. Commercial break. LA Knight versus the mofo Logan Paul with Paul Heyman. Referee is Danilo Fibio. Logan Paul attacks LA Knight as the bell rings. Knight fights back and takes it to Paul. Knight suplexes him into the ring for a 2 count. Knight hits an inverted atomic drop and clotheslines him. Paul rolls out of the ring and avoids a plancha. Knight lands an apron and dives off with a clothesline. Knight clears the commentary table, so Paul attacks him from behind. Paul gets in the ring, so Knight pulls him out. Knight bounces Paul's face off the commentary table. Knight elbows Paul in the chest and gets him in the ring for a slingshot battering ram for a 2 count. Paul quickly fires back with a clothesline. Knight ducks a right hand and goes for a back suplex, but Paul flips through and lands on his feet. Paul hits a zigzag for a near fall. And go to commercial break. We come back from a break to see Knight and Paul pull the ropes off and punch away at him. Paul quickly hits a hot shot on the top rope before connecting with an alley-oop for a 2 count. Paul punches away at Knight. Knight fights back, ducks a player clotheslines and hits a diving clothesline. Knight hits a Russian leg sweep before sending him to the corner for a net breaker to pick up for a 2 count. Knight hits a net breaker for a pick up a 2 count. Knight stomps Paul down in the corner and backs up for a running knee to the face. Knight puts Paul on top rope for a suplex, but Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed come out. Knight knocks Knight down and hits a diving crossbody block for a 2 count. An OTC chant picks up. Paul goes for a pulverizer, but Knight counters with a reverse DDT. Knight pops up and goes to a second rope and does some theatrics and leaps to the top rope and hits a diving elbow drop. Knight signals for the end before punching Breaker off the apron. The referee admonishes Breaker as Reed headbutts Knight down. The referee then ejects Reed and Breaker from the ringside. Knight knocks Reed off the apron, and Paul hits a baseball slide. Knight punches away at Paul over the commentary before the masked mystery man reappears and gives Knight a stomp on the table and gets Knight in the ring and hits a low down frog splash for the win. Winner by pinfall, Logan Paul. Logan Paul holds Knight up and Breaker hits a massive spear. Reed crushes Knight with 2 tsunamis. Referees and medical personnel pull Knight out of the ring. We're going to go to commercial break. The Vision is in the ring with Logan Paul. The crowd is booing, but Paul Heyman says he doesn't understand why the people are booing. A camera shows a broken LA Knight being carried backstage. Heyman says, when you live in a hellhole like Kansas, where you don't even know if Kansas or Missouri, carried backstage, Heyman says, when you live in a hellhole like Kansas City, where you don't even know if it's Kansas or Missouri, Heyman can tell that on January 5th, on the first anniversary of Netflix, the WWE joining together when you have a new heavyweight champion of the world. His name is Braun Breaker. Crowd barks as Braun Breaker takes the microphone and CM Punk chant picks up. Braun Breaker has one question. Where is CM Punk? Punk isn't here because if he were here, he would be 2 losses back to back days in Kansas City. Breaker doesn't mean where Punk is physically is. Breaker means where is CM Punk. It's nice, guys. CM Punk is something he's not buying or believing. All of a sudden comes back to WWE and follows the rules. Braun Breaker says Punk is a fraud. Imagine preaching your whole career that you're straight edge and not doing drugs only to look like the biggest crackhead anyone has seen. Breaker says Punk might be as well to vacate the championship if he keeps this energy. Breaker will beat him easily. Breaker wants to face the old CM Punk, the guy from 2011, 2012, and 2013, the guy that beat The Rock. No, he didn't beat the. No. CM Punk didn't beat the Rock. The Rock beat him and went on to give him the old CM Punk. Breaker wants to beat the greatest superstar to ever lace a pair of boots. If he doesn't get that CM Punk, he will destroy him, put him in the hospital. Braun Breaker take his title and takes his wife as well. Ooh, fighting words. It's kind of crossing the line. The cameras blow. The lyricist LA Knight trying to walk off on his own. Reed and Paul run off. Breaker says on January 5th it'll be Spear. 1, 2, 3. We go backstage to see Reed and Paul attacking Knight. Knight tries to fight them off, but they cut him off. Paul and Reed hit Knight with a power bomb through the table. Reed says they run WWE. Reed notices Knight is still trying to get up. Reed grabs Knight and drops him on a car hood. Reed climbs to some crates and tells Paul to pull Knight onto the car. Paul attacks Knight and puts him on the car's roof. Reed crushes Knight with a tsunami on the car's roof. Raw General GM Adam Pearce runs over and demands some medics. Well, looks like Logan Paul's looks like Knight's gonna be out of action. Knight is officially gonna be out of action, man. He's gone. I know how many days have been missing. I mean, they're shitting on LA Knight, man. They're really shitting on him. I know that Mystery Man is not Austin Theory because he's got no kind of grudge against CM Punk. It has to be Seth Rollins because the Vision is manipulating. I believe the Vision is I believe Seth Rollins is manipulating everybody along with the Vision, and gaslighting the fans. This was a terrible show. I mean, this is just really a weak show tonight. I mean, Triple H. We need Triple H needs to go. We need to have a CEO and a new CEO and a chairman, a new chairman, and get rid of this TKO deal. Well done, Triple H. Well done, Nick Khan. Well done, Ari Emanuel, TKO Group Holdings. I bet you this won't look good for John Cena's retirement. Let's go to my little predictions. Okay, here we go. My predictions. For Saturday night's main event, John Cena's final match. Predictions. Cody Rhodes versus Only Famous for NXT champion versus champion match. I say Cody Rhodes. Bayley versus Sol Ruka. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Sol Ruka. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, the Phenomenal Dragons versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater tag team match. I'm gonna say the Phenomenal Dragons, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And last time is now, and it's tag team match. Yeah. Now, last time is now. John Cena's retirement match, singles match. John Cena versus Gunther. Gunther's gonna get this. I'm telling you, Gunther's gonna get this. Gunther is really gonna get this, and it's gonna I bet you, Gunther's gonna just get it because they're gonna mess up John Cena's retirement. Gunther's gonna get this. But I feel I'm gonna go with John Cena, but I feel like Gunther's gonna get this. I don't know why in the world WWE's gonna and shoving Gunther in our throats. I mean I don't know why. I mean LA Knight should have been the one to win. It should have been LA Knight versus Gunther. LA Knight would have beat Cena, and he would have passed the torch to Cena. I mean, I bet you somehow Gunther is gonna beat Cena, and Gunther's gonna cause destruction and stuff like that, and they're gonna try to put Gunther as a babyface and all that stuff, and it's just gonna be a really terrible look for this holiday season going into a new year 2026. Very good. It was just stupid. So that's my that's it. Those are my little predictions for Saturday night's main event. That's it for Saturday. That's it. This is go terrible for WWE. So those are my predictions for all of you. Now we just already know what it's time for. It's time for it's time for my wrestling history, all the wrestling history, pop culture, and some sports and all that stuff. Let's go to Saturday, December the 6th. Okay. Last Saturday would have been a happy. Last Saturday would have been a happy. Last Saturday would have been a happy 91st birthday to Nicholas Francis Bockwinkel, better known as Nick Bockwinkel. He would have been 91. He would have been 91 years old last Saturday. He died on November 14, 2015 of Alzheimer's disease. And he was 90 years old when he died. 90. No, wait. He was 81 years old. He was 80 years old when he died. 80. Okay, Dan Stamp would have been Dan Stamp would have been 71 last Saturday. Would have been wait, wrestler Dan Stamp would have been 71 last Saturday. He died on cancer on March 13, 2017. Shane Canterbury would have been 40 years old yesterday. Last Saturday. Shane Canterbury. But his real name, Maryland's real name Buck Dixon. And some wrestling history, December the 6th. Friday Night Titans. Vince McMahon, Lord Alfred Hayes welcomed the entire Fuji-chan to the show for a special screening of him of the film. And in pop culture, a couple movies released in theaters. Same day, Friday. Full in Love, starring Sham Shepard, Harry Dean Stanton, and Randy Quaid. Runaway Train, starring John Voight, Eric Roberts, and Rebecca De Mornay. And Spies Like Us, starring a little funny movie, starring Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, directed by John Landis. He directed Dan Aykroyd for Blues Brothers and Trading Blues Brothers with the late John Belushi, and Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, and this was really John Belushi was really meant to star in the was really meant to star in the movie, but written it was really meant to have the role as Emmett Finsoon, but it went to Dan Aykroyd due to just prior to John Belushi's death in 1982. It's a really funny movie, Spies Like Us. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what else. Let's go to December the 7th. Yesterday, December the 7th. Tammy Lynn Stench, somebody you know, is Sunny, who's violating her parole who's in prison now, better known as renamed Sunny. She turns she turned 53. She turned 53 yesterday. Yeah, Rick Rude, WWE Hall of Famer Rick Rude, he died of heart failure. He would have been 67 years old. Rick Rude would have been 67 years old yesterday. He died on April 20, 1999 of heart failure. Great wrestler, athlete. He was one of the best wrestling heels of all time. Skull Murphy, who died of a suicide. Canadian wrestler Skull Murphy's real name was John Joseph Murphy. He died on March 22nd, 1970. He was born December 7th, 1930, and he would have been 95 years old today. And let's see, he would been 95. He would have been 95 yesterday. Yeah, Joe Blanchard, the son of WWE Hall of Famer, the father of WWE Hall of Famer Tully Blanchard, and the grandfather of Tessa Blanchard. He turns. Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, he would have been 97 years old today. He died on March 22nd, 2012. Episode of ephemeroid carcinomas. That's sad. And on WWF Tuesday night championship wrestling. Pedro Morales and Tito Santana defeated Steve Lombardi in the Gladiator. David Starmer defeated Gino Carabello. Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart and Jimmy Anvil Hart with Jimmy Hart. Microsoft Jimmy Hart defeated Jim Powers and Scott McGee. Danny Spivey and Paul Orndorff defeated Rusty Brooks and Terry Gibb. George Animal Steel, Captain Lou Albino, and Joe Murdo. King Tonga and Ricky Dragon Steamboat and Raw Shaw and defeated Ron Shaw and the Menace. Let's see. Then on another piece of wrestling history. Okay, December 7, 1985, took place at the Boston Garden, promoted by the WWE, which then called the World Wrestling Federation. Hosted, it was hosted by the Gorilla Monsoon, the late Gorilla Monsoon, and still alive WWE Hall of Famer Jesse the Body Ventura. And we see this match: Pedro Morales versus Cowboy Bob Orton. And the winner of the match was let's see, hold on a second. Yeah, Pedro Dark House, Paul Roman defeated Fabora and Barrio in 20-minute time limit draw. Tony Atlas pinned Moondog Spot with a head scissors and a cradle. Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth pinned Ricky Dragon Steamboat after Savage and hit Steamboat in the head with a foreign arm jack. Don't worry, but Steamboat will get his revenge at WrestleMania 3 on Macho Man. Bruno Sammartino defeated Roddy Piper via disqualification when Bob Orton Jr. interfered after about Piper and Orton double teamed Sammartino to tying him up to the ropes. Then Jesse the Body Ventura defeated Intercontinental Champion Tito Santana via counter after Santana attacked Ventura on the apron. Hercules defeated Scott McGee. Adrian Adonis pinned Lennon Poffo. Then WWE Tag Team Champions Greg the Hammer Valentine, Greg Boots, Bobby Beefcake defeated Brian B. Bonbreyer and Jim Brunzell with a Beefcake Prim Brunzell. Then on the same day, 2015, Monday Night Raw, December 7, 2015. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, the Usos defeated the League of Nations, Sheamus, the Alberto Del Rio, King Barry, and Rusev, Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Braun Strowman, Eric and Roman, and Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and Dudley Boyz in a 16-man fatal 4-way tag team elimination match. Kevin Owens defeated Dolph Ziggler. Team Bad, Sasha Banks and Naomi defeated Team Bella. Lucha Dragons defeated The New Day. Rusev with Lana versus Robert ended a double countout. Jack Swagger defeated Stardust by submission. Ron Strowman with Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper defeated Tommy Dreamer with the Dudley Boyz by submission. Then we see a little MTV, it was a little Miz TV. Charlotte Flair and Ric Flair appear on Miz TV. See a Paige came in, slapped Charlotte's father Ric Flair. Then a brawl kicks out his highlight before TLC. Then Sheamus confronted Roman Reigns, and then Sheamus gets put through a table by Roman Reigns as the show ended. Then on Breaking Ground, same day, Breaking Ground. Yeah, on WWE Roku Ring On, there was a little road trip. NXT and Divas hit the road for live events in Louisville, Kentucky, and Nashville, Tennessee. Also, international recruit Love Preet is welcome. Now we go to today's wrestling. Today's birthdays for November the 11th, November the 8th. It's December the 8th. I'm sorry. Okay, today is a happy 59th birthday to Daryl Carlisle Barnes Ring Tyler Mane, Canadian wrestler. You saw him in X-Man as Sabre Wolf, based on ring names Big Sky and Johnny Nitron. And Reverend Slick, Kevin Johnson, Reverend Slick, he turns. Yeah, he turned 59 for Tyler Mane. And let's see. '68 today. Enzo Amore turns 39 today. Michael Cole turns 57 today. Yeah, Michael Cole turns 57 today. Yeah, and Enzo Amore turns 49 39 today. And a little sports for ESPN Monday Night Football. ESPN Monday Night Football. Dallas the Cowboys defeat the Redskins 19-16. And on this, and on pop, now December the 8th, the pop culture, a couple of movies released in theaters on this day, December the 8th. A movie called Father Bride 2, sequel to 1991's Father Bride, starring Steve Martin, Diane Keaton, and late Diane Keaton, and still alive Martin Short. Released in theaters December 8th, 1995. And rest in peace, Diane Keaton, who we lost this year. And that's just about it. So I hope I have a good night. And the Godfather Soldiers are slimming. It's late chat here. Shall I say, like dress up chubby checkers, dance like Leonard Tree, dance like James Brown, like to get in the hot tub. Gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing the impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. Now I'm gonna close out a little bit of Christmas music for all Christmas music. I never grew I never grew up in the 80s, I grew up in the 90s. I saw real and old school stand up when I was little. Now that I got that covered, now it's time to close out some a little more Christmas music. I'm gonna close out this show with this song called "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas" by the late Burl Ives. From it was heard on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 holiday special. So hope all of you good night. 11:59 right now. Since it's Christmas time. Hope all of you good night. I'm out here. Peace.